fire ignites passion and creativity. Free your imagination with the slim, sleek, and beautiful new Huawei P8.
Welcome to Cape Town. This is the Gartner Symposium 2015. It's a place where CIOs and professionals in the IT industry come here to discuss their ideas, to talk about this digital tsunami that's hitting businesses, and talk about finding solutions in solving the problems. And this year we're certainly seeing the big trend is big data, analytics, making that data smart. And we're going to talk about the top 10 strategic technologies to be on the lookout for 2016. This is something that changes every single year, basically.
We look at those top 10 technologies and we really group them into three different areas. So let me start with that. There's what we call the digital mesh, which is the exploding number of endpoints or devices that are connected now to the internet and are interacting with us and with each other. And so that's sort of one category and a bunch of things going on there. There's smart machines, which include things like IBM's Watson, which of course won in Jeopardy, autonomous vehicles like the Google car, drones and those kinds of technologies. And then there's the underlying IT infrastructure, which we call the new IT reality, which is a lot of technical things, but Internet of Things platforms, new approaches to security and those kinds of things.
You know, there are two groups of thought here. That the one saying that jobs are being created, number one, and there are jobs that are going to be lost. I get the sense that there are going to be more jobs lost than gained with this technological digital transition that we're going through. What's your take on it?
It seems inevitable. Repetitive work is at risk, and that's certainly a considerable chunk of the economy. What has happened in the past is that other industries have grown to support, to absorb those workers. And that's probably what I wouldn't say scares me most, but I think we're least prepared for, is this level of change that we're facing, with which we generally call, the umbrella term is digital business. But it's going to impact a lot of different organizations, a lot of different technologies, entire industries will be doing things in entirely different ways.
Peter Sondergaard, it's quite interesting that you mentioned big data is dumb unless you can make it intelligent and useful for big business. Just tell us about the notion of where big data is going in 2015 and beyond.
Well, there's an incredible focus and investment by large companies in terms of how they manage their data, how they gather it, how they store it, but the focus has not been on really how do you make use of it. And we believe that the usage is defined in algorithms. It's the algorithms that take and make the data useful. And so we want to switch the conversation not just to focus on how I gather data and information, but really to how do you use it. The reason why we are doing two technology platforms in the future is because business is bimodal. You have one part of business that needs to manage the established, the existing revenue, because if you don't have that, the company disappears tomorrow. But you need to have another part of the business strategy, which is really about digital and how you exploit that. In essence, digital business always starts with the customer first. And when you start with the customer first, the secret to that is not ask the customer what they want. Watch what the customer does. And if you look at successful digital business models now, like Uber, they didn't start with what traditional taxi companies have, which is a call dispatch system. They started with watching what we do when we need a car. Maybe a phone call is needed, but it wasn't designed around the phone call. It was designed around watching what we do when we need transportation. We can't stop the evolution of technology. That is an impossibility. Large companies have tried to, and they can't. But what we can do is to make sure that this is approached in a way that is ethical, that is designed around the need of the human, not the need of the process.
Big data is the one key differentiator that will separate businesses and make them more competitive. It's about adding an algorithm and making that big data useful and intelligent. Businesses that fail to act on this are certainly going to go down. So it's about big data and intelligent big data, almost artificial intelligence, making data intelligent. That's been the key theme at Gartner 2015.